All right, we're back. Episode 15 of Boots and Scarves. This is the media in football episode. So, first of all, shout out to Stefan in the room behind me. Michael McCall, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. I'm surviving the heat. How are you?
Good. If you haven't already heard about it, he has his own YouTube channel, Michael McCall, MCCALL. Check out the content. It is super funny, super good. First guest on our podcast this week, dear friend of ours for many, many years, an Englishman from Nottingham, a Notts County supporter, avid Notts County supporter, but he's been riding the slow decreasing slope towards relegation with us in Villa. And everyone, please say hi and give it up for Graham.
Hi, everyone.
I've seen you before.
And someone who is no stranger to the world of media, fellow podcaster, but one who diversifies in many sports, and especially in Ottawa when we have access to all of that. One of the main guys behind Sports 613. Everyone give it up for Eddie.
How's it going, everyone?
So, media in football. We have 11 questions as usual. Everyone's going to get a turn to answer. Eddie, I'm going to get you to kick it off. Are you cool with that?
Perfect. I'm ready.
All right, let's get it going. So, right off the rip, do you believe so-called biased commentators and halftime pundits affect potential viewers for fans of certain football clubs?
No. Honestly, I think at halftime, people just – they're not sitting down most of the time. At this point, people are just like – there's nothing really that they're saying that people haven't thought of already. Like, there was a big call in the game. The commentators probably already spent like 5 minutes talking about it during the game. So, that's just another – like, whatever they talk about halftime is not going to change anything. I might as well go, grab a beer, go to washroom, and sit down and listen to their opinion.
Right. Graham?
I don't know if it would affect your potential viewers, but basically, if you're already a supporter of the actual team, then you wouldn't really specifically – you'd take their advice on what they're trying to say, and you'd make your own opinion, if you know what I mean, during the halftime results and the halftime scores. But because the pundits have been, like, say, for example, Manchester United, Jamie Carragher or something like that, when they have that kind of TV, I think they have that little bit more bias towards their own team that they played for before. Yeah, definitely.
All right, Mr. McCall.
Yeah, I think there is. I think it does affect it to some degree. Like they said, when it comes to a call of the game, I think the commentators can shift your opinion, especially if you're not a fan of either two teams and you're just watching for the head of the game. They may share their opinion. If you're not able to make your own opinion of it, bias would definitely fall. But I don't see it so much in soccer. I think it's massive in hockey. I think it's a lot bigger in hockey. You see a lot of people listen to, at least over here, but over here in hockey, you have commentators for each team. Like, they have their guy for every game. And you can watch their stream. Like, I think if you watch a Boston game, they're the most biased pieces of crap you will watch. I can't watch a Boston stream in the NHL because of how biased they are. Like, there was one game I got mad and turned it off because they tried to defend some high stick or some tripping. It was like, shut up, it's happening. Shut up.
Right.
So in soccer, I think it does. I don't think we see it so much here. Maybe it's more overseas. Here, I don't think we see much of it. But, yeah, it's there a little bit.
And Stefan.
I think it does affect, but I'm thinking more of the channel versus the game. So I know when I used to stream Villa games through the nice dodgy way, if I didn't like the commentators and I had other streams I could choose from, I go pick a different stream. Because I remember one stream, Chelsea, like, it was a full-on slip on the ground. And the commentator tried to explain it's because Hutton touched him 10 feet ago. and he was trying to defend the Chelsea player. Like, no, piss off. I'm finding another street. But Michael's right. When I used to follow hockey a lot, whenever it was Ottawa versus Toronto, you listen to CBC. Oh, that was just a nudge. I don't understand why Toronto got the penalty. Ottawa guys got a gash over his eye bleeding. You listen to TSN radio, he goes, that's a blatant foul. Like, look at the blood on the ice. You can't say that's not that sort of thing. So the joke in Ottawa is you mute CBC and you turn on Team 1200 to listen to this.
All
Look,
right.
we always bring hockey into our podcasts.
Well, look at the location.
I was about to say we're Canadian, eh?
Yeah, bud.
All right, I'll try and start bringing more cricket in and then see how.
All right, let's go back the other way. So, Stefan, again, does national press coverage affect the national team's effort?
Yeah, you could see it. Well, mostly the biggest one you could see is England, but I think more in Ottawa. Like, I remember Canada playing good games, qualifying. You'd have in the Sun 3 paragraphs about the sport, 1 paragraph about Canada, but it'd be 5 pages about fucking golf. Same tournament, 5 pages on golf. Yeah, here you go. We're going to talk about 8 games in 3 paragraphs. Of course, it affects it, especially if I don't know. Let's say I had a kid who was playing for Canada, and they beat the U.S. 3-0, argument's sake. Like,
Right.
oh, right. I want to read about it. Where the fuck? Oh, there it is. 1 paragraph about how we beat the U.S. 3-0. Really?
Right.
Canada played good. We scored. Maybe if it's more regional where the game is played, you have better coverage. But overall, we don't have very good coverage. And I would think as a player, I'd be disheartened.
And down to Michael.
I like to think no. Obviously, I'm not a professional player, so I don't know the pressure of the media. I don't know what it's like for them to deal with it. But I like to think no, because at the end of the day, even like Canada soccer for the men, it's not huge here. I mean, it's getting there. We're getting a better team, but at the end of the day, they have their own goal to fight for. At the end of the day, it's the World Cup. Get to the World Cup, play in the World Cup, or win the CONCACAF Gold Cup. That's it. That's the end goal, no matter what. I like to think, no matter what, if they care, if the fans care or not, it's as a professional, you think they can put that behind them and do what their job is to do.
Graham.
Yeah, basically what it is, it's almost like Michael took the words right from my mouth, really. It's the psychology of football, because you go through it, you're a professional, it's your job, really, to basically listen to your manager, follow the instructions that he has. So, yeah, you can see it really, like, I mean, obviously, like, I'm using my term as in England. Like, they're absolutely nuts. They're fucking mental. And
Right.
they'll grind you down like there's no tomorrow. And basically, I don't know if it's a psychology on the fans, but I'm not sure if it's a specific psychology on the players, because we've always been kind of shit. We've always, since 66, we've never won anything. So, I mean, I don't really know. I don't think it's the press that actually is the one that's doing it. I just think that either the manager's not good or the players are not good. You just don't know, right? But I don't think they have that kind of mentality just because it's their job to do it. So.
No, and I think you're right. I mean, it just to add to that, like the last World Cup, I believe, or maybe it was the last Euro Cup, but it was when England was announcing their squad, right? And how they presented it with this really cool video, and they had kids announce the player. I thought it was the most badass thing ever in football.
Yeah,
And-
exactly. So they
and
changed
they-
the thing. Yeah.
And they generate so much hype. And I'm like, man, imagine if every country got this much gas for like just announcing the team. You know what I mean? Like I understand like Canada for hockey, it's different, you know, and we'll debate it till kingdom come. But okay, so England announced their team and they generate all this hype. Then they finally get into the matches, and like you said, they just start tearing them to shreds.
Yeah.
It's like they're doing the opposite thing, but you know, anyway, we could talk about this till we're blue in the face. Eddie.
Exactly.
I had to add in quickly for Graham. I looked it up. I thought it was a book. No, it is, but it just got released this year. The Psychology of Soccer, more than just a game.
Really? It's a movie? It's a TV show, is it? Or
No,
is it,
it's a book. It just got
Okay.
released this year, like in March.
Okay. Excellent. Well, Nicole's birthday's coming up soon.
So and Stefan buy it so we can lend all our books.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Okay, I got the hint.
All right, Eddie.
I don't think it affects the players like you guys have been saying. Like, they're professional athletes. I don't think they care what media says. They're still going to try the same way. But like Stefan said, media needs to be a lot better with creating hype around. Soccer is the world's biggest sport. Canada, like we did so well in Gold Cup. Like I said, we crashed early. But like you said, Sportsnet will write the top 10 favorite foods of Austin Matthews, but they won't write anything about Team Canada, right? Like,
Right.
we have Sportsnet at TSN. There's nothing about Team Canada. Team Canada, we beat US 2-0, and that should have been memento, right? We haven't beaten them and nothing. And
Right.
that's a big problem. That needs to change. It's not really affect the players' play, but generating hype, there is hype on Canada. They're not doing a good enough job for that.
And you know, you're right. Like, it's like you. How can I put this? The players who are playing for your national side, no matter what the sport, they come more or less. They come from that country, so they know, right? They know, you know, what it's like. They know what the media coverage is like before they made it to that level. So I'm sure, you know, they kind of have an idea as to what they're getting themselves into. So, all right, Michael. How do we improve sports media in Canada who are in pursuit of coverage of football matches?
We stopped letting kids think they can make the big leagues, so they focus on other areas. They lead on kids way too long. I mean, think about it. Think about how many kids. I mean, I can say I'm guilty as one of them. I thought I'd be in the NHL. Wait till I was way too old to admit that I shouldn't be.
Right.
I think if you let kids be a little bit more realistic and say, like, you know what, you may not be in the biggest league, but how about you try to do something within the league? Become a physio and a sports physio. Become a sports psych. Become something within the media. I mean, I think if that's something I would have pursued a lot younger, if I kind of thought about it, was maybe something in the media. I mean, you guys see me posting videos and do the podcast with you. It's something I love to do.
Right.
And it's something I maybe missed an opportunity on. So I think it's really just letting kids know what they can and maybe be a little bit more of a dick to kids, I guess. I don't know. But I think I'm not saying there's no interest in it, but I think
realistic
not as much
expectations.
Realistic expectation. Maybe there's not as much passion. Like, obviously, you'd rather play than report about it, but those who can't play teach, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Eddie, you want to add to this?
Yeah, I mean, I started my sports blog when I was 17. So we're 4 years in, and I realized, like, I'm not going to get into sports playing. Like, I can still get in the sports world by writing about something. I think schools do a better job, or just like this when you're playing sports. Coaches, if you just say, like, you know, like, I know you want to push your players to make the best, but at the same time, like, you can do other jobs there. And I also think sports teams themselves, if they can do a better job of incorporating younger students, high school students who might want to be interested, giving them a chance to do something with it, get them peak, and then I think that'll be a huge step.
Absolutely. Graham?
Yeah, basically, well, what it is maybe like everybody else has said in regards to the students is encouraging more people to, like, encouraging more people to get into football, journalism, or commentary and things like that. Right now, we don't have a lot. We have most people going into hockey, but then obviously once the sport grows exponentially in Canada, you're going to have more people trying to do that kind of commentary. So that's usually what I think we should do. So,
Stefan?
So I might get flack from this online, but I'm stealing an answer from Fox News in 2010. Get people who want to follow it into England. Give them 2 years, like apprentice with the media covering football. Send them to shadow one of the color commentators for Notts County or Bristol Rovers. They don't have to be top flight,
I'll
but
take
let
it.
them know that they can start somewhere and grow. Give them time to accept this is what the culture's like. When they come over, they understand the sport, the culture, and they can speak to people that understand it as well. But we gotta just more or less let kids know. Look, there's more to playing sports than just sports. Like it's a military terminology. Everybody, when somebody says to join the military, you're thinking, great, there he's either gonna fly a chopper or be a gunman on a boat or driving a tank. What they don't realize is for every soldier on the field, there's at least 10 people getting him onto the field. So just because you joined the military doesn't mean you're on the front line. It just means you're in the military.
Right.
So I could join the military as a bookkeeper. Guess where I'm going to be stationed? Some base in an office. Private so-and-so didn't get their pay. Well, that's not my fault. His bank closed on him. Like that's
Right.
there's a lot more involved, and we need to let kids know and even adults know. Yeah, you know what? You're not that good. You're not going to survive, but you understand the game. Do you want to try the media aspect or do you want to try the coaching? Like that's
Right.
we got to encourage all avenues of the sport.
Okay, Graham, in Canada, having seen TSN, Sportsnet, and CBC televise major tournaments and various football matches, which of these three do you think will be the best to pursue the rights to broadcasting CPL?
Number one, CBC probably won't do any kind of major sports like football or anything like that because they don't have the money. It's a public broadcaster. You ain't going to get CBC doing that. Now, as for TSN and Sportsnet, it's obviously a 50-50 toss-up between what you want to watch. You know, like do you have Rogers Sportsnet or do you have TSN? So basically, honestly, given the fact that I've seen them on both networks, I'd say TSN right now is the pick for me because they have more of a commentary in the actual studios than Sportsnet. So I prefer TSN.
Michael?
For me, and like as I like to say, the perfect world, you give him what he wants. I would use CBC. To me, I think there's a huge opportunity. I mean, it's a Canadian league, and I would love to see them do like a football day in Canada every Saturday morning, afternoon, and then you could have a partnership with Sportsnet, because CBC and Sportsnet work close together. Obviously, I don't like Sportsnet as much as TSN. I would prefer TSN, but I feel like CBC and Sportsnet's a lot more easy access for people, and would be able to grow the sport a lot more than what TSN would be able to do.
And Stefan?
Michael said a few of the things I want to say. So, yes, CBC, look back at the 2010 World Cup. Look back at the 2006 World Cup. Also, CBC is guaranteed on every TV package you get. It's also aerial as well. So you don't have to have cable. All you need is your HD antenna and you get it. So, and also CBC is very good at getting their programs out, even online. So we got to use that to our advantage. And honestly, the reason I will prefer them, they don't like Craig Forrest. But actually, I think it was 2-3 years ago, CBC copyrighted Soccer Day in Canada.
Oh, man.
So they were looking to do something with the CPL. So there's still more to grow. I don't know how they can do it, but I think they're looking to get more on board.
And
they might just pay the rental for the feed. And they'll have their own talk show, and One Soccer have their own, but One Soccer's still making money off CBC.
Right. Eddie?
Well, my favorite choice would be TSN. That's my favorite network. But TSN already has MLS and CFL. So putting another sport there probably would be difficult. Sportsnet, I think all they're showing is darts now. They have nothing in the summer. And I grew up watching them on EPL on Sportsnet. And I felt Sportsnet had the better EPL show than TSN, at least in the early stages. So they are used to soccer. I think they can help grow that game. And Sportsnet is TSN Sportsnet. I think every sports fan has those two. CBC would help. I think CBC a football day in Canada, or like have one primetime CPL match like on a Saturday, and then the
Yeah.
midweek games or anything put on Sportsnet. I think, but Sportsnet, I think because they had, Craig Forrest, but they had all these other people who know soccer. I'm sure they can get there and help grow that game there.
Absolutely, because for whatever broadcaster, I really don't care as long as I'm watching footy. I'm good, but like when it comes to Canadian teams, and in particularly CPL, and last year the inaugural match, and it was broadcasted on CBC. I thought they did a spectacular job. I had nothing but good things to say, even before last year when they used to carry MLS matches. I thought it was fun. I thought they just presented it super cool. Not to take anything away from the other guys, but CBC would be my way to go.
Let me add to that. I just want to say that, in my opinion, I don't like one soccer. I don't like the idea of one soccer. To me, everything's looking at a streaming format right now, and to me, this is going to hurt the CPL because you have DAZN, you have Netflix, you have all these streaming services. Who's going to pay another streaming service for one league or just to watch Canada play? I mean, a lot of us will, but people who aren't big hardcore fans aren't going to invest that money into another streaming service. I think that Canada games and CPL have to come off one soccer if you want to see this league grow.
Yeah, I agree.
And on that strain of thought, Stefan has told me this forever and ever, is that amongst supporters of any sport in any league, like season ticket holders, for example, that's just guaranteed cash, and including those people who they'll gobble up the merch, no problem. But it's the other fans you want to, I guess, sort of sell it to them, and you know what I mean? Anyway.
That's a big problem with Team Canada too, because the Team Canada's playing US. I'm saying, hey, tell my buddy, Canada versus US. Canadians gonna watch. He's like, all right, where can I watch?
Right.
He's like, I say one soccer. He's like, oh, I have to pay to watch it instead of that should be on TV.
Yeah,
it's on Sportsnet. Watch it. Same with Atletico Ottawa. Casual fans is where you get all the viewers. Diehards will find a way to watch it. If it's not on TV, you can't grow this league fast enough.
The analogy that I got it from my dad, so I bang on about it because it made sense to me. So Anton nicked it for me. So you can look at the actions and say, piss off, Barry. But it's more or less the season ticket holders, your hardcores, they pay your rent, they pay your bills. The casuals make you money. They give you the profit.
Facts.
We cover your bills. But if you want to grow, you need to get the other people in. And that's where they need to get. So
100%.
All right. Next question, Eddie. So, in your opinion, how can the media elevate supporters' culture, and would you like to see more support and or coverage from the media?
The media needs to do a lot better. We have MLS and CPL, Team Canada. There's next to nothing ever written about them. Gold Cup, barely any talk about it. Canada did pretty good. They crashed out. That's a lot of discussions they could talk about. It seems like when there's the World Cup, and I don't know why. We have TSN, we have Sportsnet. You have all this stuff. You can write about something. I just don't get why. And I sort of blame One Soccer for that. One Soccer has Canada games, has CPL. They have those rights to talk about it. So then other companies are like, why do we have to talk about it, right? There's another Sportsnet. There needs to be a lot more talking about these teams because soccer is growing, and MLS, if you look at MLS, is huge now, and that's because Americans are taking a lot more serious. The American media, ESPN and stuff, they're taking a lot more seriously. Here in Canada, all we need to grow soccer is to take it as serious as not even OHL. I feel OHL is more taken seriously than soccer right now, so it needs a lot more effort.
Right. Stefan.
Well, growing the hold on. The supporter culture. Well, it's easy to do, but the main problem is supporter culture is not PG. So 4 out of the 5 people on here are guilty of getting Bytown Boys in trouble with CBC. one game in Montreal. Uh,
5 years ago.
yeah, playing Holland. If it
Uh-huh.
wasn't for us, you'd be German. If it wasn't for us, guess when
The truth
CBC?
hurts.
Guess when CBC decided to turn on the mic for the fan
Uh-huh.
section? So you see all these Canadian fans going crazy, and then you hear that song. You're like, "What the fuck?" But we told some Dutch fans, and they laughed at it. They enjoyed it.
Because they understand.
Yeah. So no. So they can help, but what they need to do in the end is just realize, hey, these guys aren't PG, but they'll bat for you. So they'll come up, they'll jump in the ring to help you out, no questions asked. So they need to understand what supporter culture is. Unfortunately, I think they've watched Football Factory and Green Street Hooligans one too many times to understand supporter culture. Like when they see supporters, they think ultras, they think Belgrade Derby, they think fight before the match. When really you join us at the bar, it's like, hey, how you been? How's work? How's life? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, I don't know if we can win against Pittsburgh. We should, but you know us. We're playing like shit this year. The only person
Right.
stepping up is Crepeau. Like, we'd have those discussions, but media doesn't see it. We need to show the media there is more to supporter culture than what we do in the stands.
Here. Graham.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Stefan on that one in regards to it's hard to specifically get inside the actual supporters culture because it's a perception that when you hear loud cheering, banging, and all that kind of stuff, that unfortunately from the 70s and 80s back in the UK and England, we didn't have the greatest reputation with the hooliganism. So that's basically all the North American media. I find that about supporters culture over here, especially with the pyrotechnics and all that kind of stuff. They see that even today they see it over in Europe, and they're getting like into trouble and this and the other thing. And so it's hard to actually get that goodness. Like they just see the bad side of things. They don't see the good side of things of the supporters culture.
Correct.
So if there was any way that we could actually get like some kind of media representative to come inside and do like a documentary, almost like a Netflix, Sunderland Till I Die or something like that,
Right.
you
So,
know?
I do
Yeah.
have a book on, well, you saw the book on the ultras that I have. So
Yeah.
he does dive into the whole community-based thing. On the whole hooliganism side, when he's spoken to Italian ultras, do you know why there's an England flag flown at every Serie A game in the stands? Because the English hooligan cultures encourage the Italian ultra culture. There's some useless information.
Yes, mate.
Here.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Here, Michael.
Yeah, I think media specifically covering supporters isn't going to fly. That's not going to do anything. I think one example we can look at is the MLS. And the MLS, in my opinion, this may be the one thing the MLS does better than everyone else, and it's showing their supporters on TV. I don't feel like many places over in Europe do it, especially not now. But in the MLS, I think they show really good on what the supporters are like, the big crowds. I mean, you know, I guess with the big crowds over there, anyone wants to go to a Seattle game or a Timberwolf, not Timberwolf, or the Portland game. Sorry,
You got the timber part right. Yeah.
so yeah, I think those games, you see the crowd, and you're like, wow, those are really big, and they do such a good job of showing it, and it looks fun. But over here, you have a lot of people, like you guys are saying, like you think of supporters, you think of sport groups, you think of hooligans, and I mean we've seen it here in Ottawa too, where people just want to go to the games and see what being a hooligan is, and that's not what it is here, and it's not really there in Europe anymore, anyways, or not in England, anyways. It's not there as much as what it was.
Right.
But so many people want to be like Green Street Hooligans, and it's like, okay, first of all, you don't want that because you get your ass kicked. Second of all, it's not that anymore. So I think the MLS does a good job of showing a healthy fan base. I mean, people make fun of them because they're stupid, but they look fun. I think the MLS shows a good job of them having fun. And I think the biggest problem, I think Eddie said it, was one, soccer does hurt this. And I think just showing it on TV, once the crowd starts coming out and you see the big crowds and everyone having fun, it's going to make it grow. And, yeah.
Well, you look at Atlanta United with their big crowds, and they're filling a football stadium, 75,000. And that's because
Exactly.
recently the media there helped focus and build the crowd there. So then other people, the casuals, wanted to come and join that fun experience because, like, wow, this isn't actually crazy ultra. This is like just having fun watching a game, right? I mean, look, if you look at Ottawa Fury, it took Rogers like 3 seasons to finally put the camera facing towards the fans. It used to be the cameras on an empty stadium. So, like, simple stuff like that. Like, who wants to go watch a game, right? You think you're watching a game, you think there's no one there, right?
Oh, that first season, I got a workout. Thank you to Mini Moose. Oh, no, at the time I wasn't drumming. I was flag waving. So Mini Moose went up behind me and said, yo, whenever you see us, if the ball comes to our side, start waving the flag because the flag will be on TV. So that's why I was always waving the flag the first season. The first year at Lansdowne was because of Mini Moose. Just, okay, here we go. We're back in again.
All right. Stefan again.
Okay.
So with I can't read. With various streaming sites available to view football matches, will it make it easier or more difficult for supporters to follow their teams or leagues?
It's going to be more difficult. Like, let's face it. You and I and your dad, we split DAZN. So I'm paying $50 a year. And I could watch Serie A, EPL, Championship, Champions League, cricket, darts, pool. I can watch a whole bunch of things. But to pay one soccer, that's $85 a year, one person. And I only get one sport. Remember when Crave and everybody else started coming out after Netflix and the meme was, you were the chosen one? And that's the thing is, you're going to ask people to pay money. And if people are budgeting, they're going to look, okay, I'm paying $150 for all of this versus $80 for one thing. Which one am I going to spend money on? Because I'm not going to lie, for me, one soccer, I look at, I got CPL, great. I don't really care about the Chinese league at all. Like the Chinese league, no offense, it's MLS 2.0 in the East. And then Mexican league, it could be fun, but I don't really want to watch. I already watch enough. I have my limit.
Right.
So you're asking people to spend all this money. So, I don't think it's good. I think the idea of, again, going back to an earlier question, CBC, where they put all the games up. Even if they're not putting on prime time, they can have it up on their website that you can stream from there.
Right. Graham?
It's going to be very difficult to specifically stream one thing that you're looking for. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you've got the CPL, but then you've also got different leagues that nobody gives a rat's ass about, really. Nobody cares about, you know? Like, oh, wow, we're going to pay $80 for the same as what Stefan said. Like, you're looking at the Chinese Super League or Le Max or something like that. It's kind of not really worth it, you know what I mean? But with your DAZN, you've got all other kind of sports, like, again, like Stefan said. But no, honestly, it's going to be very, very difficult for the viewers to come on in and specifically find that one thing that they're looking for.
And explain, like, what, like, the troubles you have to go through just to listen to Notts County.
Oh, you want me to go into that story, do you?
Yeah. No, tell it.
Here we go then. So basically what I do is I call my mum and dad on the phone, and then they put the phone next to the speaker so I can listen to radio and listen to Notts County every time. If they're on now they've actually got their own website so I can watch them on TV live, so that's good. But I did that for around 15 years now. So that's
crazy.
I remember one time Villa beat Liverpool. It was at the Georgetown. And Graham was there. He had his laptop out. He had his headphones in. We're watching the game. All you hear is, yeah! We're like, what the fuck? He goes, oh, sorry. County just scored. Oh, okay. That's nice. He's following the chats going online. When they talk about it.
Absolutely, yeah. No matter what, you have to do whatever you can to listen to those games for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Eddie.
No, it's gonna be really difficult. I mean, you have TSN, MLS. You want to watch Real Madrid, you got to get Bein Sports. You got to pay for that. Then you have the Zone, which is good, but you have all these other leagues. And then One Soccer and others. So that's like 4 places you want to go watch something specific. It's just too much. I had a problem when the Zone first came out, but now I'm thinking about it. It's fine. Like,
Yeah.
I was in class. I was watching Arsenal. You know, I got on shit for it. Whatever. Who cares? It was the game that got knocked out. Aubameyang missed that empty net, so I left the class. My friend was laughing at me. I left the class early when my teacher wrote about it in my report card. I was like, all right, whatever. Canadian soccer should be on Canadian media, and the fact that TSN does. I think TSN did a very, very good job with Toronto FC. The coverage there, I believe, is doing a lot. And same with Vancouver Whitecaps, Montreal Impact, the French Quebec people. They took over it. I can't watch any games there. But like I said, Sportsnet, you haven't opened stuff for. No one cares about darts. Put soccer on there.
Right.
Put Team Canada there. I don't want to pay for One Soccer just to watch CPL.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about Mexican League. I don't care about Chinese for sure. There's just too many streaming now.
Well,
but,
I mean,
but we want to watch poker.
but you're onto something. Like, liken it to, Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, and Crave, right? And various others. Like, for example, I'm a guy who's really into horror flicks, okay? And a friend of mine told me about Shudder. Shudder is specifically for horror movies, but not all of them, because all the other sites have their own horror flicks because they own the rights to certain companies. So now you see it's the same thing with sports now, right? It's like, oh, I have the rights to this league, to that sport, to this, blah, 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 blah. So, yes, in the end, it is a big cash grab, but I mean, it is putting a huge annoyance on fans who just want to we just want to enjoy it, Anyway,
so
Michael,
Anton, tell us how you really feel.
once more with feeling. Here, Michael.
Yeah, you guys basically all said it. It's just, I mean, in a simple sense, yes, it's easy to watch your team if you really wanted to, because it's someone who's got the rights that you can pay for. But when you look at everything, and if you're just a CPL fan, I think Jess will probably benefit a lot more from CPL if she doesn't pay for DAZN, because that's one league that she will follow more. But everyone else here, we follow the English Premier League. And if you want to watch Serie A, DAZN's expensive. And then that's just for soccer. And then, again, you got sports, you got TSN. And then if you just like Anton said, you're into horror movies, so basically you got Netflix, Disney Plus, NHL. If you're a hockey fan, we're Canadian. I don't know if I'm the only one that pays for the NHL app, but I have it, so I can watch all my games. It's expensive, and I've been actually thinking about not getting One Soccer, but at the end of the day, I probably won't do it. But it's something that I've thought about not doing.
Season ticket.
Well, yeah, but that's a quick solution, I guess. But at the end of the day, it is too much.
Yeah, we're talking about the casuals, not the hardcores.
Exactly. And being a casual for it did make it. I mean, I'm not casual. I am a little bit more of a hardcore.
Yeah.
So I will pay for it, but do I want to? No. You guys were talking about DAZN, and one thing DAZN I find always talks about is, Canadian soccer. We're bringing soccer to you Canadians, so you guys in Canada go watch it. We're number one Canada streaming service. Then why the fuck do you not have the CPL? In all honesty, when the CPL talked about going streaming, I was like, yes, let's go. Get it all down so I can watch the Premier League in the morning, CPL in the afternoon. And then I don't know where it's like, yeah, no, we're going with One Soccer. Fuck
and
off.
this is how Michael became a couch potato.
No, that's how he started his own YouTube channel. That's how he started.
No, I was really
Sunderland in the morning, Auto in the afternoon, and streaming service at night. Got it.
I was really upset when the CPL did not go on DAZN. I thought that was a possibility. I thought it was realistic, and I thought they missed out on really growing the league. I think if there's any streaming service that can help grow this league, it's DAZN, and we don't have it, so it is disappointing.
Okay, Eddie. So with all the halftime pundits available in Canada, who would you guarantee to keep on your halftime show and who are you firing?
Oh, honestly, fire all of them. Honestly, just get two opposing supporters groups battle it out at halftime.
There
I
you
think,
go.
I think that'll be
There
more
you go.
entertaining. 'Cause
Didn't
realistically,
Sky Sports used to do that?
They still
It's-
do. They still
They
do
do?
occasionally.
they're
yeah.
not talking about anything important. Really, there's either complaining about a missed call that's biased, like you got like some missed penalty, they're being whining about that for half the time, or just it's just they're not really bringing like anything that wants to stay. I'll go and do something else in return when the game's back on. I don't feel there's like the only thing I could see halftime good at is just if there's multiple games going on, talking about like giving out the clips of other games. Other than
Yes.
that, like a specific analysis with just one game, I couldn't care less about what they want because each team is just biased. Because right now it's all just former players, so it's like an Arsenal former player and a
Right.
Man U former player arguing about it. Like, okay, thanks. Like, you're not really
Right. Graham.
The one that I would keep on the show would be Nigel. I like Nigel. So he's
Okay.
a good lad. And then the one that I'd get rid of is I'd help Stefan out. I'll get rid of Craig.
I'll give the explanation when it's my turn.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
fine.
exactly.
Go, Stefan. Go, sick him.
Okay.
Perfect,
Craig
perfect.
Forrest thought Guzan was a good goalkeeper. That is perfect reason to give him the pink slip, the P45, whatever you want to call it. It's a good reason to get his ass out the door. Yes, I know. I sound like my father right now. It's you know what? I keep tires. Brendan Dunlop.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of humor. He's not that well versed in the sport, but he understands it. He cheers for a team, but he's willing to get into the debates and take the licks.
Yeah.
He takes the jokes shot at him, and he's okay with it. He can take it. And I think overall, that's what you want to. If you're watching the punditry and you want to see shots fired, you at least want one person there that can take the shots. Roll with it. Have fun. Make you want to watch it.
And Michael.
Yeah, I'm on the same track as Eddie here. I don't give a shit.
All right.
I don't watch the halftime. During halftime, I'm taking a piss again and drink. Or I'm even on my phone going through Facebook. I don't give a shit. I have my opinions on the game. I don't need people to tell me what I need to think. And again, like as Eddie said, the best thing about the halftime is showing me highlights from other games and giving me updated with the scores. Other than that, I don't care. This goes back to when my Don Cherry days as a kid growing up. I hate Don Cherry. I always have. I don't like him, and he always. Yeah, sorry, at a very young age, I stopped watching Coach's Corner, and I'm still like that today. I don't watch intermissions for hockey. I don't watch halftime for soccer. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, but Don Cherry took a pad and hit Ron McLean on the head with it and said, see, that hurts.
My problem with Don Cherry is he's an asshole who thinks he knows better than everyone else who played one game in the NHL. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just accept him as an asshole. So I didn't judge him on anything else except that he's an asshole. Okay, I know I'm watching an asshole.
See, growing up as a kid, when you don't know enough, when you have this guy telling you what to think, you think, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's been there. He's done that. He's done fuck all with his career. Other than make Boston lose in the fucking playoffs. I don't agree with him being fired, but he's an asshole.
Okay. Back to Eddie. And this is one I'm interested in hearing what he has to say. How would you encourage younger people to get into the world of sports journalism?
That's a good question because I'm just trying to find an answer myself. Honestly, I think just starting your own stuff, like the way I started my own blog, it's just if you're not like, there's no open job slots, force your way in. You know, make yourself something that, you know, start your own podcast. You can start small. People are going to tend to listen to you now more than the media. Like I've been hearing a lot that, you know, I created this blog, my friend, is because we noticed that media wasn't talking about other sports other than just the Sens, right? There's other teams there.
Right.
And no one's talking about it. So there's an opportunity. There's literally a free market.
Right.
You walk in as a neutral.
Right.
And start. You don't need it. You don't need to go to TSN right away. They'll notice you once you're big enough.
Right.
Start doing your own thing. Get your friend. Collab with other people, and you never know what could happen.
Create your own lane, man. That's what it's really all about. Graham.
Basically, I would encourage. How would I encourage it? Basically, like Eddie said, more about going on blogs. I'm thinking about doing a podcast for myself as well. I was going to do it actually this year at the Ottawa Games. I was going to do like a match day blog, day vlog, excuse me. And basically, it's more of like when you see the kids in the stand and basically just talking to them. Obviously talking to the the older kids, like 12 and above type thing, so they have more of an understanding, but just getting out there and just basically showing them, because right now social media is huge, and obviously with teenagers the way they're going right now is you want to be online as much as possible in regards to basically encourage that more often.
Michael.
Yeah, that's a hard question. It's again, I kind of touched on it earlier when I said kids grow up wanting to play, right? They want to be the person to put on the show. But at a certain point, most kids come to realize they may not make it. And that's when I think it comes into an influence on a parent, a teacher, some of the guy to be like, you know what? I know how much you love this sport. Maybe try this instead. And I think that's important. It's and like Eddie said, kind of do your own thing as well. Don't kind of just do what everyone wants you to do. Do your own thing. Be different. Start your own thing. Meet people. Today is the biggest. They've always said you need to know people to get somewhere, and that's so true. And by putting yourself out there, you'll meet the right people. But it is a hard topic because you don't meet a lot of kids who say, "Yeah, I want to be a sports analyst."
Right, Stefan.
So this is going to go kind of against the conversation we've been having about no one pays attention to halftime talks. So in Jamaica, 98, CVM TV put out a competition when Jamaica was confirmed in the World Cup. And they did a draw and had kids on per game. So one kid got to do a pregame, halftime, postgame analysis. You got one game you were involved in. So every kid wanted the Jamaica game, of course. But that's not a bad way to do it. Get kids that show some interest. Let them know, we're going to bring you on. We're going to treat you like an adult. We're going to give you adult responsibilities for this. And that might encourage the young generation to become more involved on the media side of things versus, well, if I can't play, I don't care. No, it's like, I can't play, but I can do that. I've done it. I want to go do that. It's opening the door up. So, and again, I hit on it with the whole Fox News things. Encourage apprenticeships in media to go into a soccer country, like where it's the life and blood that if Twinkle Toes went and took a dump in a gas station bathroom, everybody's running. He might get a disease because he went to a gas station bathroom, not his own personal. That sort of mentality. So all we can do is help encourage the youth. Like if they want to get into football, let them know there's, again, takes 10 people to put a soldier on the battlefield. So.
Right. All right, Stefan again.
Fun.
So the hypothetical goes like this. A network has offered you an amazing contract, but you can only choose between being a writer, a videographer, or an audio specialist. Which one would you want?
Well, I'm going to go with video because I know I'm fuck ugly and my voice can be annoying. So I'm going to ride that train of what does this asshole have to say? That's how everyone paid attention to Don Cherry's. Here's this asshole again. Let's see what he's wearing. I wouldn't do blog because anybody see me type anything on a smartphone with autocorrect still sees multiple grammar and spelling mistakes.
Fact plus text.
Audio, well, I like to talk with my hands. I like to be expressive, so I could do audio. I'm going for broke, ugly, bad voice. I'm going for video. At least I can talk with my hands and be animated.
All right, Michael.
I think if you ask me this on any other topic, I would say writing. I love to write. I've wrote a lot of stuff before. But the unfortunate thing about sports, as many people may argue this, but it's not scripted. So
Right.
I think I'm on the same path of stuff as being a guy in front of the camera, being shouting your opinion, kind of like this right now, you know. And kind of voice your opinion. I think people listen more to, especially in today's media, people listen more to video rather than reading something. I know when I read an article, I skip a 5-minute article, I will skim it within a minute or so because I'm not reading all of it. I look for quotes and I look for bullet points.
Right.
I'd definitely I think I'd put myself in front of the camera and shut my mouth off.
All right, Eddie.
Oh, 100% want to be in front of a camera. Catch me on TSN making, laughing at other teams. I mean, I'm a writer now, but for sure, I love being in front of camera or on a podcast more than writing.
Cool. Graham?
I like the audio. I think it's, I like to listen to it and see what dynamics there is in the specific audio studios. So that would be my take, I think. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Graham again. England. Yes, your native land. England has traditionally, and we talked about it earlier, a negative relationship with the media. And is this an issue that affects all teams in all leagues in all countries? Or is it just you Englishmen?
No, I think it's basically definitely all over the world. Like, I mean, when you have the World Cup and the European Cup and everything, and I think it was actually a couple of tournaments ago, Germany got kicked out of the group stages. Those papers went ballistic in Germany. And so basically, yeah, I think it is definitely a worldwide thing, even in every other sport. Like if you've got a major sport in that specific country, cricket, hockey, football, you name it, the media is going to go nuts or things like that in regards to disappointment and failure and things like that. So it all plays on the minds of all the it's money, 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 or get the money for the papers and everything else like that. So they want a lot of drama. And that's where we can get it in sports.
Right. Eddie.
I think the biggest example we see in North America is NFL, with all the players getting fined, and I'm just here because I don't want to be fined. With the
Yeah,
NFL
I love that.
Yep.
That's what we see. I see hockey in Canada, unless it's the Toronto Maple Leafs, the media and players, everything's so scripted, it doesn't really make sense anymore.
Right.
But I think NFL, NBA, like those two, those are the beef for the media, and I think it's part of the show. Really, I think it's on purpose to have more attention. Versus Europe, where I think Europe is a little bit more serious. Versus here, it's all part.
Well, look at boxing and MMA. They're trying to sell the fight, right?
Yep.
So, Stefan.
Well, the expression "no news is good news," right?
Mm.
So everyone wants the bad news because they know people pay attention to bad news. But I remember, because growing up in Jamaica, I do still follow the Jamaican press. They may critique the reggae boys, but they don't bash them. Canadians don't even know they have a team, so that's another. The English tend to just fucking kill and crucify the team before they even kick a ball. Yeah, Bob's going to be the backup goalkeeper. Well, Bob did this wrong. Put him on the cross. That's it. He's dead. Like, what do you mean? Bob hasn't kicked the ball yet. You don't even know. You haven't seen him at training. But no, kill him. Jamaica, what we called in cadets was the shit sandwich. So it was praise, critique, praise. So say, oh, you did this well, but this needs work. Look how bad you did this. But overall, because you did this well, that also worked well with you. So the shit sandwich. Praise, critique, praise.
Michael.
I think the only place on earth where the media gets along with the government is North Korea.
Talk about it, Michael.
I think that has to be the only place because it's 1-1, right? So yeah, no, it is definitely it's not that you want to deal with, but unfortunately for athletes, that they are forced into it in a sense. And as Eddie said, unless if you're in Toronto or Montreal, like it's a big media market for hockey, especially. So I can't imagine what it's like overseas for like England and Italy or Spain, like their leagues following their players. It's probably as bad as it is here.
Yeah.
The markets just. I mean, we see it in hockey a lot. I don't recall personally seeing it a lot in soccer, but in hockey, you see media kills this player's career. The media did this, media does that. I mean, you look at Toronto, Phil Kessel or Jake Carter was literally pushed out because of the media and the fans, right? So,
Right.
I personally can't think of anyone that's happened to in soccer because of where they went to and the media and whatnot, but I think it's definitely still on the side, like Steph was saying, when it comes to the English football team. No matter who's picked, people are picking at it. I mean, to the day my dad dies, he will tell you Harry Kane has no business being on England's team, never mind their captain. And
Right.
you'll see stuff like that no matter where you are in the world with sports.
Okay. Last question of the day. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Graham. Thank you, Michael and Stefan. Yes, that rhymed. For your time. Ha 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 ha. So, now I was being very tongue in cheek with this. I don't actually mean the name at the end of the question, but So, Michael, who's your all-time favorite football media personality, and why is it Chris Kamara?
Well, I like that, but it's not him. I will go with Michael Owen because he's an idiot. As I said, I don't really watch these people. I don't care about their opinions. But when you're an idiot because you're an idiot and not because you're trying to be, or
He's an honest idiot.
just remember you have to score more goals to win. Thank you, Owen. I will never doubt that. If I could quote you because you're a fucking so stupid, you'll be my favorite. But other than that, I'm not gonna watch you, so I don't really care.
Okay, Eddie.
Michael Owens was a good shout. Probably Gary Neville, similar. Just someone annoying is just you just watch just to get mad and just so you can laugh at him. At the same time, like I'm not gonna watch you.
Okay, Graham.
Well, I'm going to go my old kind of like granddad style commentator for Notts County. He's been with us for over 50 years, since 1963, I think it is, or something like that. And basically, I've grown up with him since the age of 3. So I'm going to go with him. He's my kind of like sports personality, and even everybody knows him. Alex Ferguson, everybody knows him. He's really personable, really good.
Wow. Cool. And finally, Stefan.
I don't know, Jeff. No, but no, he's fun just because the blank looks he gets sometimes, his outtakes. Again, I'm gonna say another one, and if Brendan was on, he'd call me a fanboy, and I am Brendan Dunlop because he can take the licks. He can take the licks. His nickname when he was on the score was Punters.
Right.
Now, the English lads understand what that means. For the non-English lad, a punter is someone who picks up prostitutes. So, yeah. Now, evolve that name, and then you could see them making fun of it. But he took the lick. He didn't care. So, you know what? And the same thing with Chris Kamara. Yeah, he acts like an idiot, and he says, fine, I did something stupid next. He accepts it. That's what Dunlop does. So that's my pick, is Dunlop again.
Well, that brings us to the conclusion of this week's episode 15 of Boots and Scarves, the media and football episode. Once again, thank you all for your time, for your attention, and your contribution. Shout out to Graham for being on here at the last second, just because.
Yes, thank you.
And providing us with a lot of cool things, as well as Eddie. Thank you, Eddie, so much for being our guest this week. Actually, Eddie, would you like to plug in stuff where we can follow you?
Yeah, you can check us out, 613sportsblog.com, and on Twitter is at 613_sports. You can follow us for any of your Ottawa sports news and banter, anything.
Awesome. For us, Bytown Boys page and group on Facebook. There's also Twitter at Bootscarves and at Bytown Boys SC. We are going to be voting on the charter soon, Stefan.
For our paid members, yes, we had a discussion last night. In short, if you were part of it or haven't read it, the real change that we're proposing is removing 2 general counsel positions and turning them into a more or less a PR position. So handling the website, handling all the social media. Not that they had to run all of it, but they had to at least get their team to run it. And also the Corteo officer, and that would be more or less game day operations. So even though Sergeant at Arms deals with logistics, so the Sergeant at Arms and Corteo officer would work together to make sure everything's set up and running. So that's the main change. This is not a vote for this year. This is a vote for next year, for our next election. So our next election cycle, we will have 5 positions to vote on, not just 4 if we do it right. Yeah.
Right.
So
okay, that concludes the episode. Thank you once again, everyone. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Graham. Take care. Signing off.